There you go. Right. Good evening or good afternoon, where Loren is.
Yeah.
We thought we'd flip it this time. Loren, he does hundreds and thousands of interviews day in, day out. So we thought, you know what, it's Loren's turn.
Yeah.
Let's get Loren under the microscope, light, spotlight, whatever we want to call it.
Under the
Um,
I'm ready for you.
have you got that? Have you got that bell thing as well?
Yes, you better bet. That's the bell of purpose. Yeah, thanks for having me, Adam. It's exciting. See, I can't tongue twisted. It's exciting to be here with you. I mean that. So
You're most welcome. You are most welcome. And you host Bathrobe Moment. I was privileged to be a guest on it just a
yes,
few
thank you
months
for
back.
that.
And yes, I admit it was a struggle, me being on it, because I was talking about my story. So
Hmm.
now I thought, you know what? Let's talk about you.
Okay,
So we all want to know is who is Loren Michael Harris?
who am I? Well, I'm just another person, just like all of us, who you know has a journey, a purpose in this world, and like so many others, I, for many decades, wore my battle scars as things other than prideful proof of existing. I wore them as things that were, shaming, um, low self esteem, scarcity mindset,
Yeah.
a lot of things. A lot of things. They were misrepresenting the truth. Let's put it that way, because underneath it all was something wonderful, which there always is. And
Yeah.
so I'm just another person who has made it so far, thanks to everything that we see in this world and all those things outside that we cannot see. Uh, Together, have made my way to where I'm at today, just like every other person. And I'm just a person who loves to have the conversation with other people. There's healing in conversation,
Yes.
and in sharing. Yeah, sharing our stories. It's all about sharing the story. So that's really who I am. I mean, but I do host a show every day called Bathrobe Moments, which is a place just like this one, where people can come and our theme this year is "Show Me Your Soul," and I'll show you mine. Uh, and that's I love that because that you don't get any more base level than
No.
soul, you know. And I just I do that, and I coach people. I have some people that I coach on message discovery, people that are just trying to find a way to shape their story, not change it, but to shape it into of something that they are willing and unconditionally ready to offer the world. It's like a plate of food coming out of your kitchen. You want to make sure that it's nutritious and that it's appealing and it's plated nicely. Uh, um, you want it to be served at the right temperature at the right time. And you never want a plate of 0 calorie content to leave your kitchen.
Mm.
That's like giving somebody a plate full of styrofoam. No taste, no color, no smell. Hence, no experience. And that's what we do when we share our stories. We let people part the curtains and
Yeah.
join with us inside of our experiences, thereby creating a new one for all of us because of everything we do together. When we fulfill that promise of two or more coming together, we're blending experiences, which now creates a new experience for all of us. So I just
Absolutely.
love it. That's really what I do.
Yeah. And with
And
I,
you
I come across guests from all over the world on a daily basis, and I don't even think I believe you are the only one that has a bill of purpose. You're
oh,
the
probably
only
so.
one.
And we want to change that. I want everybody to have one because it really it just it's proof that I heard something. When I ring that bell when a truth is out there that I never want to forget. And so it's like it's this bell of purpose serves as just a reminder that don't sprint past everything in life. And if you do, be able to jog backwards a little bit or turn around and go back and take a good look at it. Oftentimes we fly right past something because we're in the middle of the road of this race and we think that that was just another piece of roadkill when
Yeah.
really upon second look, closer inspection, in many cases, uh, it's a platinum bar just waiting for us to pick it up and take it with us.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And just like you, I wore a mask for many, many years, decades, because obviously we've had struggles with mental health as well, because we know how massive that can be.
Cool.
And yep, that's my pet just wandering off as usual. But but even then, pets they can help with mental health as well. Uh,
Oh, immensely.
yeah, absolutely. And obviously, all I've got is I wish I had a hat on because I'd take it off to how much you have transformed your life and other people's lives.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Hmm. Well,
even my own,
you
because
know everything you're saying about me, someone is somewhere saying about you, right?
really.
Of course. Of course.
Yes, yeah. I've just not come across that person yet, but hey,
Oh, you're looking at one. I was just telling Brian, my husband, when he was on a break from a patient and said, "So what do you got coming up next?" And I told him. He goes, "Oh yeah, he was on your show." And he remembers that I talked about it afterwards. And the way you shared your story about how you had a difficult time the next day because you had gone to that place
yeah,
where you were so vulnerable, that remembering yourself to these moments. And I was, that meant a lot to me because it was like you went there so that you could fulfill your word, like in the four agreements, be impeccable with your word. And you had said you would come and you would share and you would be vulnerable. And you did. And I saw in the commercial break when I looked into the green room, I could see you in there and you were doing this and getting it together, and you came back on like a pro. And that's really what it's about. I learned a lot. I was really touched by that experience with you
thank you,
because it,
thank
it
you.
because we don't always, it's not always a tap dance out to the middle of the stage. Some days we don't feel like being the one who's the motivator, the smiler, the one who, but you know what, the minute we get out of our own way and we do something for someone else, suddenly our world begins to reshape itself back into the perfect thing that it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the amount of mental health groups I'm actually in, and I get come across posts or I'm struggling, I'm ready to give up. I always comment on every single post. You're in a storm. Remember, storms don't last forever.
Mm.
They don't.
Now,
Storms
see
do
there?
not last.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying right there? You just drop something out there that someone can pick up.
Yeah,
That's the branch when they're going in the whitewater area and then being swept away, and suddenly, out of nowhere, and I'm doing air quotes because that's not even the truth. That's a phrase that deceives, out of nowhere, because nothing comes from nowhere. But then suddenly, there's a rescue branch handed out that they can hold on to now and pull themselves to shore. And that's what you just extended.
absolutely. Now, obviously, I can resonate with this because just the other week I actually watched the film with my partner, and it's actually called Inside the Storm.
Mm,
And straight away, I wasn't thinking, oh, this is just a film full of actors, full of people that's rehearsed this thousands of times. This is actually me. This is actually millions and or billions of other people out there
mm-hmm.
resume to mental health. And obviously, this particular actor actually, obviously, he passed away in the film, but obviously, when he got shot up right to the top of this tornado, there you go. Light.
Right.
Because there's always light.
Always.
There's always light. Now,
Always.
obviously, yeah, yeah. And obviously, it's all about moving forward. I've got role models. I've got idols who I keep looking to if whenever I get down. Now, I'm actually shocked that I'm actually alive tonight because I've sadly lost a family member on Tuesday.
You
So
did?
yeah,
I'm
my uncle passed
sorry.
away. So
Who?
uh, my uncle.
Your uncle.
He sadly left us on Tuesday.
Suddenly.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Adam.
it's all right. It's all right. But I was saying this to my partner today. It's like yeah, it's a struggle. It only hit me yesterday because I was in that in denial phase on Tuesday when I was told. So I was in that in denial. So I thought, you know what? What would he actually want? Would he want me to suffer? Not suffer, sit there crying, feel numb? Or would he say, get off your ass and actually carry on doing your work?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm here today.
Mm. See, see, and you know what that is proof of, Adam? I have this mindset where when like that, the loss of your uncle, but it was also an entry portal for the blessing you're living right now.
Hmm.
Blessings come in with those traumas or sadnesses or whatever they may be. They never come alone. There's always joy right beside them in the form of a blessing which has just been born into the process of becoming that blessing.
Yeah,
2 days ago you didn't know you would be able to do what you're doing right now in
exactly.
spite of the situation and yourself, in
Yeah,
spite of yourself, because that's usually what stops us, ourselves. We get in our own way. But you're here, and that's a testament to the reinventing of our own mental health on a daily basis. You see,
yeah,
because 2 days ago you may have been good, but today, because of what you're doing, your mental health is better. You put an ER on it. You were
yeah.
strong a couple days ago, but because you're getting up when it's uncomfortable today, you are stronger because of it. So there's your blessing that was born into becoming.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And I'm going to remember those sayings because there is meanings to every word.
Every word.
Every word. It doesn't matter what they are. There is. And this brings me on to the introduction to bathrobe moments. Where did that come from?
Second time today. Wow. I was on an interview earlier with Jennifer Hammond from Sirius XM, and she asked that same question. And I love glass. See, that's the good thing about the truth. It never changes. You don't have to remember anything. But I love this story. Yeah, bathroom moments came because I was honest with myself and with what is greater than me. In my case, I refer to him, her, she, they, them as God. And so I said, I get up early, I go to the gym, I do these different things. And still, if at 9 o'clock in the morning, headed from the coffee pot, I bump my toe on the corner of the stove or something, and I'm hopping around cussing, and now all of a sudden I'm off. Everything is off. And I kept seeing that it was happening earlier and earlier. And I said, I need something, or I need to get in front of the pain, just like a toothache. Don't wait until it's throbbing. So I didn't want to wait until this thing got out of control. So I asked what was greater than me, God. I said, I need something to start my day's trajectory in the right manner. And I was standing in this room, had my coffee cup, and I had a bathrobe on and a phone with no stand, no mic, no headset, no green screen, none of the things, the light rings, the things that people think they need to get started. And I just opened the phone and went live on Facebook, and he said, call it bathrobe moments. And it was very humbling because I was like, well, I'm in my bathrobe. But what it has done is create a place. It holds space for come as you are.
Yeah,
That's a directive. That's a promise. That's a principle. If you're any kind of believer, that's all you have. It's almost like Stone Soup, the story when we were kids. Bring what you have. Come as you are. And I just wanted a place where we could be just as comfortable as we would be with each other as we would be with a family member in our bathrooms, and just
yeah,
being honest and just chatting. So that's what it's turned into, and God's been good, and we're in our fifth calendar year.
yeah,
From January to December is what I call a year, or a season in television. It could be 3 weeks. Oh, season two. So anyway, but for me, a season is a complete calendar year, and it's just I've learned and grown and been touched and blessed and uplifted and anointed by people that have come through, just like yourself, the Bathrobe Moment experience, and it has really done wonders for my life, and hopefully for a few others.
Oh, it definitely has. It definitely has. I was watching one your live from yesterday with that guy who I can't remember his name now. You had him on yesterday.
Yesterday, and I put my new itinerary out for next week. Let's see. Yesterday, who was yesterday? What are you talking
A
about?
guy in the glasses with that pain.
Oh, today.
Oh, is
Oh,
that
that's right. You're over there. That's
yeah?
right. You said about pain.
Yeah, he spoke about pain,
The
foot
doctor.
pain. Well, you said it doesn't matter if you come to me in 2 weeks, a year. Can't wait on to me.
Oh yeah. Hal. His name is Dr. Hal Blattman.
Doctor Howell, that's it.
Dr. Hal
Yeah,
Blattman.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
watching that
you
live.
talk about a smart guy. Man, he flies between Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and New York City, New York, every week, 2 times a week, back and forth, running holistic and chronic pain clinics in both of those cities. And he's just a brilliant man, just brilliant. Glad you caught that one.
Yeah, I did. I watched it today, so it was brilliant, brilliant. So obviously with lockdown happening all over the world,
Hmm.
how are you holding up? Because I don't think you actually get much of how you are, or are you okay? That
Oh,
many people don't.
we're homebodies just in all times, even before COVID. I mean, pretty much homebodies. We miss, of course, we were dinner people, go out to dinner, that kind of thing was that was it. Go catch a movie every now and then, and go to the farmers markets and things like that. But our home life is better. I mean, we're here working from home and whatnot, but we appreciate things here that are within the home that
Yes.
we've kind of gotten started to take for granted. Maybe we do miss our friends and family members, of course, like everyone. But for everything that we miss, there is something new that we found, that we've discovered during this experience known as COVID. So it has done a lot for our mindsets as far as our businesses, and staying sharp on how to maneuver, navigate through these difficult times, just as so many are having to find their way. But what I really appreciate about this COVID time is pretty much, I'd say, if I had one thing that I really love about it, because I refer to it as the great equalizer, because it's even the playing ground for so many different things in so many different ways for so many different people. But what I'm loving now is things like Clubhouse, where I just watch and
Mm.
listen, and you see that people are really hungry now for real socialization. They miss conversating and just kicking back and hearing and sharing stories and connecting and confiding in each other and things like that. And this is a time where a lot of people, you can either be fearful of everything, especially over here in the United States. We just came through an election and all that while COVID. And but when you have these things that we're talking about um, here today, even with the mental health
Mm.
things, I think a lot of people, my mental health is better
Mm.
because it's helped me just relax, calm down, lean back, and lay back into purpose, and just breathe my way through every moment. And I'm grateful for that. It's taken so much of the static,
Yeah.
interference out of the frequency um, field. It's cleared a lot of the static because it's everybody. A lot of people have to set their asses down, slow down, sit down, But and that's okay because this isn't meant for us all to stay down.
Mm.
It's for a reason. It's for us to. I look at it like when you get batteries that get low, you got to your charger on your phone or whatever. You plug it in, and I feel like right now we're all plugged in. We're being forced to plug in to
Yeah.
something that we didn't even know was disconnected, and that's the human connection.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm constantly being told to slow down, take a break, and I'm like, I can't. I just can't because there are too many people that want that support. And I always was told off my grandparents is always stay busy, because if you don't stay if you don't stay
Oh
busy
yeah,
and you stop, you will crack.
that's right.
You will
Well,
stop.
you're right. And that's right. And it's absolutely right because I didn't, we're always talking about how busy we are and we don't have time for this and blah, blah, blah. But during this pandemic, we're still busy. We still, even though we're working from right here in this home, at the end of the day, when I shut everything down in here and, my husband Brian up in his office shuts his stuff down, we still feel like we're coming from the office. We still feel like that. But the thing about it is, it doesn't take as long to decompress.
Mm.
I don't have to scrub all of a lot of the stuff that I made. Uh, I created a lot of the chaos in my life prior to COVID. You know, got to do this. Like it was felt like if it didn't get done, it would kill me. But now I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I don't get finished with that, that's where I get to start tomorrow. There you go. Ring the bell purpose, and things that were causing stress. I had a lot of stress, because everything was. But when the world came down, like the Matrix, where everything went
Slow motion, yeah.
slow motion, and I'm digging it. Yeah, I want my restaurants back. Yeah, I want to be able to go to the timeshare and wherever and kick back, at the pool and swim up to the bar and get a cocktail and play in the waves and all that. But in the meantime, I'm focusing on, well, there must be a reason. I can't get to that now, but what can I get to? It's not all just like that day when bathrobe moments came through. It wasn't about what I didn't have. It was about focusing on and doing something with what you do have. And so that's kind of how we've approached this whole thing with quarantine and whatnot.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And you touched on stress there, and I believe stress only comes if you choose to be stressed. It's a choice, because obviously I believe that mental health is our mindset that controls us. One minute you've got control over it, next it may
It's
have
true.
control over you. But it's
It's
all
true.
about choice.
It is. It is. And it's funny because interesting, not funny because I didn't go ha 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 ha. See, that's the word that deceives. It's not funny. It's not laughable. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that uh, I was telling someone I was on an interview not long ago, and we were talking about my 14-year drug addiction, and I said, I've recently gotten a download from God that told me, guess what, Loren? You do realize the reason why you never say I'm still an addict, because I don't say that. Some people say, oh, once an addict, always. No, I'm not. And he goes, the reason you can say that and feel completely authentic with it is because it's true. You were not a drug addict. You weren't addicted to the drugs. You were addicted to abusing invitation,
Mm.
because every time you invited a drug in, it did what it's supposed to do. But it didn't get there until you said, hey, you want to come with me? I invited it in, just like any bad relationship. I abused invitation, which is a birthright,
Yeah.
because free will is a birthright. So,
Exactly.
right. So choosing is the invitation. I choose you and I invite you in. I choose that and I invite it in. So there are only two choices: the one you make and the one you didn't or couldn't. But again, it's the invitation, because inside of us is where everything, our essence,
Mm.
is there. Our soul, our memories, our dreams, our our visceral organs, our vital organs, everything, our brain, everything that is us is inside here for now. It is in this leg of the
Yeah.
experience, the journey.
Yeah.
And but the thing about it is, and that's why I love story, because yeah, this body is a vehicle and I have fingerprints to prove I'm the only one that has I have DNA that doesn't match anyone else's in the universe. But however, when I pass on one day, which we all will, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, so those fingerprints and that DNA are going to go away.
Mm.
So what goes forward? The soul goes forward, the spirit, the essence. But what stays here? Not just the body that went to wherever it went, but our stories.
Yeah,
Our stories get to stay, and they get to live on and continue speaking and doing the work that
exactly.
we began. Right. And so, how important is that? Very important. Very,
Pain actually follows on as well. That gets passed on as well. Pain.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Pain. Uh, but it's yin yang, high, low, hot, cold, black, white. You know,
Yeah,
everything.
I have noticed. I'm going to give a rough estimate here. I'm going to say about 88% of the time, when somebody sadly passes away, there's always that question: what if this? What if that? I wish this. I wish that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about 88% of the time.
It does. You're right.
Yeah,
It really does when someone passes. And there've been a lot of that this past year,
it has.
for a lot of people. And, you know, we should try to live every day as if it were our last.
Exactly.
Because one day we're going to be right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Nobody ever knows when it's their last day.
yeah,
Nobody.
yeah. But you know what? Whenever it is when it is. That's one thing I can say. I sometimes I go, why is that? Why am I not, all messed up in my head about this thing? About I'm not afraid of it.
No.
I'm not. If it were today or 10 years or 30 years from now, whatever it is, I'm good with it. Because I'll tell you something. When you get to the point in your journey where you go, man, I get it. I would live every pain moment I ever had. I would go through everything I've ever lived through again over 100 times. I would live it 100 times for just a minute of what it led me to. And I say that all the time. I would live it over 1,000 times just to have another one more minute of what I have now. So if I would be willing to do that, then I have to be willing to get up every day and live it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Send it to the farthest. Everything you do just to the nth degree, but and just put your all into it, and it, because that's unconditional. When you put a border around it, a fence around it, perimeter and descriptives, labels, and this and the other, those are conditions.
Yeah.
We didn't create any of this.
No, no, and I'm glad you mentioned that because obviously just last week it was International Disability Awareness Day,
Mm.
also known as Winnie the Pooh Day,
Oh.
and I actually was brought up watching that and reading the books and all
Oh
that.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we all fell in love with the characters, but nobody ever knew that every single character that featured into that cartoon, they've all got some sort of disability. Everyone.
Stuttering and yes.
Yeah, stuttering, OCD, autism, mental health. But nobody knew. Nobody knew.
That's
And that's why
really interesting. I
and
didn't know
I
that.
hate labels. I do not see labels.
Hmm.
I see talents. And that my son, a 9-year-old son, he's got autism. He's got ODD, and he's been assessed for ADHD. But he sees them as
Superpowers. Yes.
superpowers.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Smart kid.
he puts that all into like numbers because that's his talent, numbers. He's in year 4 in school, and he can do like year 6, year 7 work in
Wow.
maths. So yeah.
See, again, nothing is just. I don't believe there are mistakes.
No, and that's comes from me introducing him at his old school to a snakes and ladders grid, and that's how he got introduced to numbers.
Wow. And he loves them.
He loves it. He's not let it go since. He's not let go.
See,
So there you
love it.
go.
Love it.
Yeah. So obviously, what's next for Loren? obviously we know Bathrobe Moments is going to carry on for
Yeah.
many, many years. But what are you going to do in the future?
Well, there's a couple things brewing, putting together a summit, a business summit. You'll hear more about that coming up. We're going to stage that in June. It will be a virtual business summit, helping people take their brands and businesses to a new level in a new kind of way. Nothing you've seen before, that's for sure.
I'm
And
tuning.
I have another show that is premiering right around February 14th, the weekend of Valentine's Day, called The Other Side of the Rainbow. And then a 10-minute thing that'll come out, just something to give people a little shot in the arm every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, called 10 Minutes to Change Your Life, where I'm going to challenge people. Will you give me 10 minutes? Just 10 minutes to change your life. Think it can be done? Come on inside and let's see. And that'll be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right on Facebook, just like you do.
I can do it in 5.
You can change your life in 5?
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe, and we know that, but a lot of people go, oh, yeah, okay, I'd like to see you try. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's
Send
who I
me an
want to come.
invitation then. Send me an invitation. I'll sign up right now.
Okay. I want somebody who says, you can't change me, and I can't. But I want you to give yourself 10 minutes to change your life. And you come in here and you're going to walk out with everything you need for this moment. For this moment. Because, I believe in the law of attraction. So I know the ones who are going to be there are going to be the ones that are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
and to the people out there, if you're getting people who bullying you, because I know cyberbullying is the biggest problem these days. You know what? Just imagine this: they're bullying you only for one reason, because you're there, they're there. They're trying to bring you down to their level, because it just shows you're better than them.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
That's how you feel?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of, that up and down, above and below. I really that's like that ladder of success mentality where you got to climb, climb, climb. So there's always somebody above you, you're looking up to, somebody down there breathing up, trying to get what you have. But we have control to change that. I'm not in competition with another person. I'm only in competition with one thing, and that's time.
Yeah.
Because time is the only competitor that has whipped the ass of every human being ever. So the only difference between a Mother Teresa and Peggy Swanson, downtown Virginia Beach, the difference between Mozart and the 12-year-old who is practicing his cello right now somewhere in his bedroom, somewhere in the world. The only difference between Oprah and Adam Duvall is what each of those people, each of us chooses to do with the very same 24 hours.
Yeah.
They got the same 24 hours to get their work done in this world, and they got it done. Excuse me. And so, I like to turn the ladder horizontally,
Yeah.
vertically, because now my feet are on the ground. Where when I do put my best foot forward, everything that I've created, everything I'm living in, the left side of the number line, what some people call negative, I don't believe that, or the right side where all the positive lives, I'm in the middle on the zero spot, and I'm seeking balance. So when something is pulling more, too much fame or too much money or too much ego based, whatever is pulling this way, then or too much this way, because I'm not, whatever it is, you're going to always know where you need to correct, because you're in the middle and you're not judging. You're just doing what we all should do, and that's strive to remain balanced. And that's a key word in mental health. She's a little imbalanced, in balance, we have a lot more control over it than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah.
But that above and below thing, though, that's a phrase, that's a mindset that deceives. Turn that ladder horizontally. Hold on tight. Now you can put your best foot. When you're on that other ladder, you can't even put your best foot forward. There's a ladder rung blocking you. Okay, so you turn around. Turn around. Now put your best foot forward. You're going to step off that ladder. So that ladder of success that pits us against each other. As if we're in competition with each other. We're not in competition with each other.
No, you're spot on there. Yeah, I've never seen it that way. But hey, as they say, you learn something new every day.
There you go.
See? You learn something new every day.
That's right. Turn that ladder, and keep your feet planted firmly on the ground.
Yes.
Let your wings take you up, and your wings come from fulfilling your purpose because you're soaring. You're
Yeah.
soaring above the ages, above whatever ridicule, above judgment. That's the only way for it not to bring you down is to soar above it.
Yeah. I believe
So,
we
and
was.
that's what you were saying when you said they bring you down. Yeah, they can. You know what? But I don't fly in. I don't fly under the in. Down under the radar. When you're trying to fly under the radar, that's when they can reach right up and pull you down.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, but I believe we've all got wings. We've
we
all
all
got wings.
do.
But the question is how are you going to use them?
Or if you're going to use them at all, have you tried them out?
Oh yeah, I have. I have.
Well, I know you have. You and I both have. Yeah,
Hence why I'm here today.
that's
And hello, Leah. Yep. Yep. Loren's an absolute awesome guy. She just thought I like this guy. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know people were actually watching. I thought we were just recording. Hi.
Live on YouTube.
I know, but I thought it was a live recording, and I don't know what I thought. But okay, I'm glad you're here. Hi.
Hey, but thing is though, we was having this discussion about time though, weren't we?
No, I know. I can't believe how much time has gone by.
I'm just as bad as you, but hey, awesome. So it's all about moving forward, never backwards. And if because obviously my parents told me this, I can't believe I'm saying that, but they always say, "Oh, always fall back on something, always look back on something." No, I don't want to look back on something because now you would never catch me say to my kids, "Look back on something," because I never will. Always look forward to something because your aim is in front of you, not behind you.
No,
And if you,
but let me ask you something. Here we go. Here we go. Every vehicle in the middle of that big windshield has a little thing known as a rear view mirror. It's not placed there for us to stare in the rear view mirror while we're trying to go forward, which is what I think you're saying. But it is there to remind us that it's okay every now and then to glance back to where we've come. If that weren't important, we wouldn't need history. If that wasn't important, there wouldn't be legacy. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because the thing about it is, guess what, Adam? You and I, both of us, I am a culmination of all of the bloodline before me. So are you. And that means that you're a culmination of all the sacrifices that every one of your ancestors made. It helped propel your bloodline forward to where it has landed on you. Your children out in the other room have now picked up everything from beginning to now and are going to add their piece to it. That's how we've evolved.
yeah. Do you want to know who my great ancestor is? Well, many greats.
Sure.
Mary Queen of Scots.
I just saw that on Netflix like a couple years ago. I saw they had a thing on there. Wow, she was a bad lady.
Bitch.
Yeah, she was. She was something else. That was a great. Wow. Hannah, how did you find out who?
Doing my family tree. And going through my grandparents, they actually informed me that many decades ago, my ancestor was actually one of the favourite slaves or servants to Henry VIII.
See, that's a good thing about being over in Europe. You guys preserve history so well. Over here, man, you'd be lucky you can find out who your third cousin is or was. I'm not kidding. Let alone, man, that is such a blessing to be able to have those kinds of stories and that history. I mean, doesn't it make you feel something?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and yeah. No, but going back to this moving forward and all that, I've always believed, and I've got it in my head. The reason I'm saying I don't want to fall back, I want to move forward, is obviously my goal is in front of me,
right?
Which I'm chasing, and I believe I'm close. But what were we going to say then? And if a barrier comes your way, which it will.
Mm-hmm.
Find a way of overcoming it. Find a way.
Find it. Well, sure. But sometimes all we have to do is remind ourselves, wait a minute. I said this before when I said, oh Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I have no, oh my goodness. Everything's going to fall apart. Did you ever say that before, Lord?
Yeah.
Yes. And what happened? Here you are. Oh, yeah. That's right. You know what? Well, what did you do last time? Well, first I called for help. And then, okay. So that's when it comes in handy
Yeah.
to go back. It's to remember, because look, you're still here. You're still playing. You've made it through everything.
I'm still breathing.
You're still here. So, there's some, how do you think that happened? Because it's not the case for everybody.
Belief. Believing in yourself, because anything is possible if you believe in yourself.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And
We agree.
yeah. And obviously, another one is if you can survive the battle that you have with yourself, you can survive anything.
Ooh, that's a good one. And so true. I got to ring again. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because we are our own worst enemy many times.
Yep.
We all know that. Everybody says it. Everybody says it. I ask people every year on my page, the first week of the new year, what would you attribute, you know, your greatest stumbles last year, or things that you didn't accomplish? Who's responsible? Who would you say was responsible for you not getting what you said you were going to get, or do what you said you were going to do? And 99.9% of the time, everybody says me.
Mm-hmm.
I did it.
Yeah.
So we know it, but we just don't know how to do something about it in many cases.
Well,
Things like this, shows like this help, because we get to talk out.
Well, obviously, the last bit before I end this, always remember the answer to your question. The answer's in the question.
Oh yeah, I believe that too. You know what? Let me tell you something. You're right on point with that, because I'm gonna tell you, it took me. You got something right there. It took me 5 decades to get to, and now I used to be afraid of the question mark. I used to be afraid of it, but now any opportunity that stands before me, if I don't see the question mark inside that room, I go the opposite way. You know why? Because I know that the question mark isn't, if there's not a question in it, God isn't in it. You know why? Because I need to question. Why would I be stretching into an uncomfortable place? Stretching. If I don't have any questions, it must mean I either think I know everything, or I think I know everything, which is a setup, because there's no way I know everything. So why wouldn't there be a question?
But I've always believed that if you know everything, you know nothing. But if you know little, you're still learning.
That's right.
Yeah, and I know what I do. I know little.
Me too. This much. I was telling again, second time today. I was telling on the other interview. I said, I say this all the time. If God had or has a bookshelf behind his desk or her desk or their desk, with a volume on it relating to their relationship with each one of us, my book would be called Motivation for Dummies, because it's so simplistic. The way it is fed into me to make its way through me, it's like stick figures. It's like, I'm telling you what, it's so simple. That's why I speak in a lot of metaphors, because I'm giving it to you guys the same way I'm getting it from.
And you do an awesome job.
Well, because I keep my hands off the wheel. I know if Loren gets too involved, he's gonna mess some stuff up. So I just stay here and I ask every day. I renew my vows every day. I renew my covenant with what is greater than me every day. I come to a place. That's where people. I think that's what people are meaning when they say they have a grounding routine in the morning, or they meditate, or they do. Those are places we go to renew our vows.
Yes.
What is greater than us. That what, it's a new day. I may not be perfect. I may not do everything right, but I will do my best. I will do what the 4 agreements instructs. Be impeccable with my word. I will do that. I will not make assumptions. I will do that. I will always do my best. I will do that. And I will not take things personally. And I will do that.
I
And
salute
I
you.
set off on my day.
I salute you for that. And you know what? It's been an honor having you on.
Thanks. It's been an honor being here.
It has. It has. Yes.
Nice to get out of the bathrobe every now and then.
Oh, you have
Thank
to,
you.
don't you?
Thank you for that.
But yeah, thanks for everyone that's going to be tuning in now or tuning in when it's on the replay. Please share the hell out of this because this is an absolute legend. This guy.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like a mirror. And I was like, somebody else over there?
Yeah, pictures of my kids. But yeah.
Yes, I know. And how are your kids, by the way, before we go? Doing well?
Yeah, they're actually doing better in this lockdown. First, it was a struggle. Second, we've actually got a strict routine, a lot of visual things around the house.
Good.
And that's what they need. That's what they need, visual.
That's right. That's right. God bless you. I'm
Anytime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream now and please share the hell out of this. Let's get this shared in awareness. There's always hope out there. On that note, bye for now.